did it. I started Law & Order from the beginning. First episode, right off the bat, John Spencer, Leo McGarry from The West Wing. Some of his West Wing friends were in this episode too. Annie Corley was Stewart in this episode of Law & Order, but she was Mary Marsh in 2 episodes of West Wing in 2 different seasons. You might recognize this guy. Eric Avari played Pakistani Ambassador Habib on West Wing. I recognized him from Mr. Deeds. He played Dr. Raza on this episode of Law & Order. Harry S. Murphy here was in The West Wing as a witness, season 3. He played Mr. Parker in this episode of Law & Order, and he played Dr. Hamill on ER. Rocky Carroll was Dr. Davids in this episode of Law & Order, but on The West Wing, he was Corey Sykes. And in ER, season 10, episode 17, he played Mr. Walker. There are 4 more actors who were in this episode of Law & Order and have appeared on ER. And I want to start with this guy. He was Dr. Vucelich on ER. Bad doctor. Tried to get away with some shady things, but I think Eric LaSalle stopped him. So Ron Rifkin was D.A. Nevins in Law & Order, but Dr. Carl Vucelich on ER. And this is ironic because this episode, the first one of Law & Order, is about doctors doing shady things. But he was not one of them in this series. An early series regular, Richard Brooks from Law & Order, ADA Paul Robinette, played Mr. Freeman in ER. But here's where you can find him more recently. Lee Turgensen was Clemens on Law & Order, but the Demerol junkie on ER. Last but certainly not least, Stephanie J. Gordon here played a nurse on this episode of Law & Order, but she was a set designer on ER and many other things. I'm also already seeing that there are many actors who are one character in Law & Order, the regular version, and another in SVU, another in Criminal Intent. This is as deep as I'm diving though. Because of John Spencer, West Wing was definitely relevant here. I will include it as necessary going forward, but you're always going to get the ER coverage. If someone in an episode of this has been on ER, I'm going to look into that. I've already watched the 2nd episode and have more to share with you. Follow for more, and have a great day.